What if female Deku had Papyrus' abilities as a Quirk Part 2, and in the previous part Izumi passed the UA entrance exam via getting 670 points and Bakugo got 420 points, and let's see what's happening in this part. So winner jump cut to Izumi waking up and getting ready like the magnificent queen she is, and then putting on her UA ice cream clothes and then using her blue magic to fly slash levitate herself to UA high. As she was flying there, some people saw her flying, but no one saw her face, as Izumi had finally arrived at UA High, and she waited until the car stopped by. As Bakugo had gotten out of the car, as Bakugo angrily said, "When did you learn to fly?" And after Bakugo said that, Izumi said, well, actually, it's cause," and before Izumi could say anything, Bakugo said, "Don't explain it. I don't want to hear all your nerd talk about how your flying works." And Bakugo said that Izumi nodded annoyed slightly as they both entered UA High and to Class 1A. Entering, Bakugo and Izumi took their seats as Bakugo put his legs on his desk until the blue-haired kid told him to put his legs away. As we know this kid as Ida and Bakugo started arguing until Izumi said, "Bakugo, can you be quiet? We're trying to be heroes, not misfits." And after Izumi said that, Bakugo scoffed as he put his legs down as Ida thanked Izumi as he left to a seat as the rest of the students finally entered UA. As Osako approached Izumi, but before she could introduce herself to Izumi, Aizawa told them to all change their clothes and meet him outside because they are having a Quirk assessment test. And then Osako asked about orientation, but Aizawa told her that he has 3 years to fully turn them into fully fledged heroes, and that they should do whatever he says for now. And then after that, the girls went to their changing room and the boys to theirs. As Izumi and Osako talk, as Izumi talks to the other girls, befriending them with her charm and magnificence slash brilliance. As after that was done, finally everyone got out as the Quirk assessment finally began. As Aizawa said, "Okay, you, the tall girl, come in the circle." Let me rephrase it. As Aizawa said, "Okay, you, the tall girl, come in the circle." After Aizawa said that, Izumi came in the circle as Aizawa gave her a ball and told her to throw it as far as she can. And then Izumi nodded as she got ready using half of her strength only as she threw the ball, and Aizawa said 900 meters. No, not 900, 1400 meters. And after Aizawa said that, everyone started to say that this is fun, and Izumi nodded too until Aizawa told them that whoever gets last will be expelled. And after Aizawa said that, everyone locked in as the Quirk assessment started fully, and in all of this, Izumi can't stop winning, can't stop winning, can't stop winning. And Izumi is getting number one in every test in the Quirk assessment as it finally ended. Aizawa said, "Most of you failed on, and clearly one of you passed. But don't worry, I was joking about expelling you." And after Aizawa said that, everyone breathed a sigh of relief as they all went home. And after a few days later in Class 1A, everyone was in class as Aizawa told them that a new teacher will be here teaching them and that he has arrived now. And after Aizawa said, All Might came in class saying, "I am here." And after All Might said that, everyone started glazing All Might except Izumi because she felt something fishy about All Might. He was too nice, too kind. There has to be a reason for it, even though she is literally the same. As Izumi knew she had to get to the bottom of All Might's kindness. Somehow I'm making this smaller because she can sense something weird in him, and All Might, and that's probably the vestige role, I guess. As All Might talks, saying that the clothes make the rules, and Izumi perked up after hearing that as the clothes as All Might showed them the hero outfit, and then they all got it and then went to a changing room and changed into those clothes as they got out. And Izumi was wearing a black sweater and above it a white padded chest plate and blue shorts and red gloves and red boots, like the right image of the thumbnail. That's the one. As All Might explained, the heroes versus villain test, and the first round is between the villains Izumi and Ida and the heroes Bakugo and Ochako. And after All Might said that, both teams went to their respective areas as Izumi and Ida were in the bomb area. As Izumi asked if Ida had a plan, and Ida nodded as he explained that he has two plans, and he explained those plans, and then Izumi nodded as she explained how they can improve the plans, and Ida nodded as well as they both combined their plans and their brains for some reason, which included some good IQ, I guess, instead of zero IQ like most people say it is. As All Might said, as after a bit All Might said, 3, 2, 1, go! And after All Might said that, Baku started climbing the stairs quickly as he finally entered the bomb area, only seeing Izumi and Ida. As after Baku saw them, he shot an explosion at them. As after the dust cleared, Baku had been captured because Izumi and Ida, who were next to the bomb, were fake disguises, clones, not clones, basically like a cardboard image. For some reason, like how did Izumi make that? Don't ask questions right for me. As they were actually beside the door, and Izumi used a bone to hit Bakugo in the stomach as Ita had used a reciprocal burst on Bakugo's back, and those two hits knocked him out as they put him in the capture tape. As Izumi says, "Mwahahaha, you simpleton hero! You should have realized that we villains are stronger. Never dare any expect we know what the fuck." Basically, she said, "Don't be a dumbass. We are stronger than we think," something like that, but not cursing. And after Izumi said, Ida did his monologue as Ochako secretly tried to touch the bomb, only for it to be covered in a invisible bone dome, which he just made visible again. As Izumi and Ida smirked as they defeated Ochako and captured her and captured it as Almighty in the booth says, "Villain team wins." And after Almighty said that, Ida and Izumi shake hands as they both went to the student booth as the rest of the audience went to say, "And before you say in the comments I'm shipping them, believe me, I'm not." And this is for the plot in the future, so let's get back to the story. As we jump cut to a week later, and Izumi and the others in a bus and heading to USJ, and Suyo asks who they think is the strongest, and everyone either thinks of Bakugo Todoroki, but Bakugo actually says that it's Izumi, which makes for a lot of itself, until everyone finally arrived at the USJ as 13. The hero 13 explained about the dangers of having a cold, and Izumi paying the most attention as they all entered the USJ as Kurogiri appeared and said, "Sorry, heroes, but we are inviting ourselves in." And after Kurogiri said that, the villain started to pour in as Kaminari said, Kaminari says, "Whoa, you guys are doing fake villains?" And then Kirishima says, "Yeah, that's so manly." And Izumi says, "Yeah, so cool." And after Izumi said that, Aizawa said, "These are real villains." And 13, keep the students safe. Keep the students safe. And after Aizawa had said that, he started to fight the villains until Kurogiri created portals to send everyone to different parts of the USJ, as Izumi was also in the water area, and she fell on the water as she took a deep breath, and then she realized she can actually breathe in underwater for some reason. I'm just adding that because, skeletons can literally, like, basically skeleton, that's it, I guess. As Izumi smirked as she was suddenly attacked by a villain, as the villain passed out from using his head to attack Izumi, even because of Izumi's tough skin and hard bones, as Izumi was confused until the more villains started attacking her as she fought back and managed to defeat them all as she got out of the water and then left to help the others. Forget not saying Suyu or Merita, but she defeated a lot of villains, so that wouldn't be a really much big of a problem for them, as she was trying to help others until she sees Aizawa getting pounded by the Nomu. And what I meant to say is Aizawa getting dog walk on the Nomu. Have a good brain. By the Nomu, as Izumi used a weight/gravity increase technique, as the Nomu's hypothetical 450 kg weight was multiplied by Izumi's 85 kg weight. As it multiplied, and the Nomu's weight is over 38 kg, as the Nomu has slowed down, literally to non-existent movement, slower than a turtle. As Aizawa was surprised after seeing so as Shigaraki and Kurogiri, as Izumi looked at Shigaraki and Kurogiri saying, "Accept defeat, villain, or I will defeat you like them all." And after Izumi said that, Shigaraki would say, "You think slowing down my Nomu makes you some kind of hero? Don't get cocky. Because this Nomu was made to kill All Might, you are nothing but an extra." And after Shigaraki said that, Izumi would say, "There's time for you to go to jail, villain." And Izumi ignored him and then started attacking him as she threw many bone attacks at Shigaraki, as all of them were fast and had hit Shigaraki, as he was surprised at the strength as he tried to decay one of the bones, but it did not work. But it did not fucking work, because Izumi's bone attacks are made of energy, and energy can be destroyed. That's how it is. That's the explanation I'm giving you, idiots. But Shigaraki know Izumi knew about that, as Kurogiri got Shigaraki away, as he teleported Izumi away from the Nomu's, or I guess Izumi's sight. So basically, teleported Izumi away. She can't see the Nomu, as the Nomu's weight came back to 450 kg, as it was now free and it was able to move freely again, as the Nomu rushed at Izumi, hitting her stomach, as Izumi tanked the thing. Is that all? If that is all, then this monster can do, then you can never beat my magnificence. And after Izumi said that, Shigaraki was annoyed as he said, "No, no, no, that Nomu was supposed to be as strong as All Might." And after Shigaraki said that, Izumi fought the Nomu, which is basically defending and getting almost dog walked on. Like, basically, she's like, has a lot of defense, but not enough. Like, she's strong enough to take a lot of hits, but not strong enough to give some damage to the Nomu. As Izumi was getting pounded, I meant to say almost dog walked on, not like Aizawa, until All Might finally came in saying, "Oh, I am here." As after that, the fight between All Might and the Nomu went the same, as All Might defeated it with a united Shades of Smash. As after that, Kurogiri and Shigaraki were captured, because Izumi in all of this had fought both of them and won easily due to her endurance and high reaction time. which had made her dodge the, what was it again? Yeah, decay and teleportation, which she had not dodged in the previous part because she was too focused on the villains, I guess. As Izumi said, see, you villains never had a chance. Never. And after Izumi said that, All Might smiled until another portal came, and out of it came All for One clapping as he said, splendid work, All Might, truly magnificent. My little appearances and story may have failed, but seeing you fight on the edge of your limits, that's the spectacle I wanted to see. You're still a symbol of peace, but I can still see the cracks. And after he said that, he looked at Izumi saying, you are strong with that Quirk girl, but you won't be any longer after I take it for myself. And after he said that, All Might said, don't get away in this, All for One. Your battle is with me. And after All Might said that, All for One laughed as he said, right now you're in no condition to fight. But I'm only here for them. And after All for One said that, he created a portal under Shigaraki and under the tied Shigaraki and Kurogiri as they were taken away back to the base of All for One. Also, and then also All for One left as all mice were destroyed, but kept a smile as everyone was taken to the hospital and UA was shut down for a week to deal with the press. I thought one thing, and that is that he needs a successor, but who should he choose is the question, and he does not have one or two, but actually four options. And Izumi is one of them because she's strong and kind, and the second one is Todoroki, and the third one, is medium. But he chose the fourth option, Bakugo, because in this review, Bakugo is actually a lot nicer, I guess, a bit nicer. So yes, on the next day, All Might would have given Bakugo the offer to have one for all, and Bakugo obviously would have agreed. As Bakugo's training started with All Might, while we get back to Izumi, who is making food and giving it to her classmate, which kills him, obviously, as even All Might had eaten it as he felt better than usual. So yeah, there was some test done on All Might as All Might's lung injury for one for all was actually healing, but very soon, and All Might himself was surprised and told the doctor to not tell anyone about it. But unfortunately, Aoyama like a rat. He is spread this out to on the news of Japan as everything went to shit. And the people of Japan were shocked as All Might's injury and healing got exposed, and Izumi in all of this is too naive to what is happening. And the Hero Commission would try to control her, but since she is slowly healing All Might with her food, which is not she's bullshit. Because she's literally is almost slowly healing All Might, which not even recovery gold or the best medics in the world could do. And Izumi would probably, and when they try to do that, Izumi would have, and this information of All Might being also healed slowly but steadily, due to the fact that even the best medics won't do it, and due to Izumi not being able to lie, she would have kept talking about this, which allowed Aoyama to spread this information, like the rat he is, and this would be very problematic, as All Might would have probably shielded Izumi from being used by the Hero Commission, and it would also get worse because Izumi actually makes many kinds of foods for the people, basically for her friends, which would probably make her an even bigger threat than usual. Not threat, but like basically they would try to use her even more and would say that it's for national security and would probably try to restrict who Izumi can cook for, and villains like All for One would be interested in stealing Izumi's quirk, and also this would be spread out to many pharmacists who would want Izumi to not be a hero because she's literally taking their job. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, she's taking their job. That's it. And Izumi still cooks for her classmates and teachers, which makes it all even worse. But don't worry, I did not forget about US sports vessels, so we start this out. And I want to mention that Nezu and the other species and All Might never knew about Izumi's cooking, healing, and this all happened a week after UA was shut down to deal with the press. So they had to debate if the UA Sports Festival should continue or not. But Nezu insists it's important for the morale of proving UA is still strong, and so they had no choice but to do it. As in the first round, Izumi just won the entire okay, I'm just going to, like, basically I'm going to skim through this entire thing. So in the first round, Izumi would have obviously gotten number one with a 10 million point headband because she had flew there Gara style because remember not Gara style, but basically she used her blue magic to make herself fly there. And then in the cavalry battle, Izumi teamed up with Bakugo, Mei Hatsumi, and Todoroki, and all of them clapped cheeks for anyone who opposed him. As we now get to the one-on-one tournament, and before the tournament started, someone told Izumi about Izumi not to speak when Shinso says something, or Shinso's quirk will activate on her, and Izumi took this literally to her grave. As when the battle started, Shinso started badmouthing Izumi, saying, "You think people will be able to respect you because of the silico heroes aren't chefs. They don't feed people, they save them. All of your classmates probably pity you." And after Shinso said that, Izumi annoyed but kept her mouth shut, even mime zipping it, as she fought Shinso with her bone attacks, and this was very easy because Shinko could not damage Izumi at all. As 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 the first round ended, as the rest of the matches were the same, and when Endeavor asked for Izumi to make Todoroki use the fight, she denied. She refused to do it. What the fuck? She refused to do it because she believes that it's Todoroki's choice if he wants to use his quirk or not. As we now jump to Izumi and Todoroki coming in the arena, and Izumi winning against Todoroki easily because she is stronger and has better abilities due to Todoroki not also due to Todoroki from not using his fire. Izumi not convincing him to do it, she defeated him easily. As she said, "Hehe, I'm the best and I'm the great Izumi." And after Izumi said that, everyone cheered for her because not because of her accomplishment, but because of her healing food, which all of them are greedy ass. As we now jump into the semi-finals and Izumi easily beating Ida, as we now jump into the finals, and it is between Izumi Midoriya and Katsui Bakugo, and then both of them got on the arena as Izumi said, "Today I will show you my brilliance, and this battle will decide who is stronger, Bakugo." And after Izumi said the Bakugo scarf, say, "Keep dreaming, I'm going to win today, and just know I have something you can never have." And after Bakugo said that, the battle started as Izumi and Bakugo fought, and Izumi felt Bakugo's explosion stronger than ever, stronger than she expected, and she kept taking explosions with a lot of damage. Well, not a lot, but basically a damage that basically her, yeah, not a lot of, yeah, a lot more damage than she usually felt. As Bakugo had used one for all, 10% for now, as he kept the pressure on Izumi as he said, "Just give up, you can't beat me." And after Bakugo said, Izumi shook her head as she kept fighting and this was cataclysmic as Bakugo had used one for all to 20% as he was trying to win against Izumi as Izumi said, "Come on, as he said, "Come on, just accept defeat, you can't get close to me." And after Bakugo said that, Izumi was annoyed but kept fighting as Izumi is refusing to lose because heroes must never give up, even against impossible odds, and she kept fighting and is desperate but still determined, and is as her right eye glows orange as she sees the future. And Bakugo's next move, as Izumi was dodging easily, and as she used her orange eye, or basically whatever the hell that is, supposed to be an Undertale or Underswap, I guess. As she saw Bakugo's eventual blind spot as she kept fighting him and then fought, and in the final future, she saw Bakugo's weak spot as she hit him there as Bakugo was thrown off the arena, passing out as Izumi's eye returned back to normal as she raised her hand saying, "I win!" And after Izumi said that, the crowd cheered, roaring as we get to Bakugo, who is now in the virtual world from how hard Izumi punched him as he looked at the previous one for users as he says, "Who the hell are you all?" And then Yuichi, the first one for all users, steps up saying, "Strange, you weren't supposed to be here yet." And after he said that, Bakugo was annoyed, saying, "What the hell do you mean supposed to? And who the hell are you people?" And after Bakugo said that, Yuichi and all the other heroes explained who they are and telling Bakugo that he came here too early as Bakugo was sent back to the real world as he woke up in the hospital, and after a bit of recovering, he talked to All Might about what he saw in All Might and told Bakugo to keep it a secret as Bakugo nodded as we now jump cut to a Bakugo and Izumi and the other students in class 1 and Aizawa explaining about the internships as Izumi had chosen, not chosen, but was forced to take Gran Torino's agency by All Might because that's the only agency he can trust right now. Because the others would probably try to use her in some way. And after that, we now jump cut to Izumi and Bakugo on the next day, and they were outside Gran Torino's agency as Bakugo said, "This place looks like it's about to break down in any minute." And Izumi would have said, "Bakugo, never judge a book by its cover." Also, I also want to mention something. I want to mention something. Gran Torino, the hero, will probably try to act dead in front of us. And after Izumi said she knocked on the door, but there was no answer. Bakugo is now that keeps the door opening, saying, "I don't care." And what the hell are you talking about? Him acting dead. Stop shouting weird crap. And after Bakugo said that she had Izumi had gotten in as they saw Grand Torino fake dead with ketchup on his body as he just I am alive gag as Izumi was quiet as Bakugo said, yeah, old man, now train us. As after Bakugo said that the training started and Bakugo's training was more focused on explosions, like basically controlling his explosions better and basically compressing them in some way. And Izumi's training would be being Bakugo's punching back for his explosions and making her durability even higher. Got him. As we now jump to 2 weeks later, and Bakugo and Izumi with Gran Torino to Hoso City as the Nomu attack happened. Like as 2 weeks later, Izumi and Bakugo went with Gran Torino to Hoso City as the Nomu attack happened like in the original, and Bakugo obviously won't stay in the bus, and Izumi would have done the same as she would have gone to a different area because she used her future sight and saw that Ida was getting dog walked on by Stain, so back so she would have went to save Ida, as when she got Ida was about to restart the train, but Izumi managed to save Ida via throwing a flashbang towards both Ida and Strain, as Strain would have dodged it before it could blind him. As Ida was saved but blinded, as Izumi would have sent to save him, as Strain would have tried to slash at Izumi's left leg, but unfortunately, as the sword would have cut into Izumi's skin very deep, but then it would shatter after it hit Izumi's bones. As Izumi quickly used blue magic on Strain to send him flying to a building as she ate a few cookies she made, delicious, and shoved some in Ida's mouth. And he said, "Get up now!" And after she said that, she used the flare gun to send a signal, as the heroes would have seen it, and they would be arriving as the battle between Strain and Ida plus Izumi had begun, and Izumi was striking hits and attacking close range while Ida supported as and did long range attacks. As Izumi remembered something as she used her weight increase ability and her weight multiplied with Strain's weight as Strain's body fell onto the ground, passing out because Yuri expected this man to lift almost like 80 times his own weight. Are you kidding me? As the other heroes finally alive and detained Strain. Because of this, the hero interactions would have still continued, so the final exams that would not happen. So we initially get to the forest training camp arc, and Ichigo would not talk to Koda because Koda is a bad kid, but he would have been saved by Izumi when the fight by Muscular, and when the fight between Izumi and Muscular started, she would have beaten Muscular because she used a weight increase ability to multiply her weight by Muscular's weight, and this would have made Muscular pass out and almost all of his bones being broken, I guess. As Izumi went to help the others, but in this time, she and Todoroki would have been captured since this time Todoroki and Izumi were the main focus because Bakugo ain't shit. And Todoroki was captured because of blackmailing on Endeavor, and Izumi because All For One wants Izumi's Quirk, and also because Shigaraki hates her. So both of them would be captured by the League of Villains, and after it was done, the Hero Commission and Yue would start planning to save them, as this is where we end part 2 of what if female Deku had Papyrus' abilities as a Quirk.